Once upon a time, there is a great king. He loves his people and everyone loves him. His enemies are always afraid of him. The queen, his wife, is wise and beautiful. She is the most beautiful woman ever. They have a pretty daughter. People say that the young princess is the only one who is more beautiful and wiser than her mother. There is a donkey with big ears in the king's palace. It's not a normal donkey, it's magic. The donkey drops pieces of gold from its ear every night. The king collects the gold in the morning and stocks it in private coffers. After many years of prosperity and joy, the queen becomes very sick with a bad illness. The king looks for help everywhere. He asks the best doctors and magicians in the land, but no one is able to help her. Before she dies, she says to the king,
I know that you will marry another woman sooner or later, but promise me not to marry any woman except if she is wiser and more beautiful than me.
For a long time, the king is so sad. However, as the months go by, his hurt becomes less and less. A year later, he decides to look for a wife. But the only woman in the kingdom who has more wisdom and beauty than the dead queen is the princess, his daughter. After thinking long and hard about it, he says to the princess, the only way to keep my promise to your late mother is to marry you. You are the only one who is wiser and more beautiful than her. This makes the princess very sad. How can she marry her father? This is wrong. The princess decides to ask her help from her fairy godmother.
I know why you are here.
The fairy godmother says,
There is a great sadness in your heart. I am here to help you. First, you must obey your father, but tell him that you have one request to marry him.
What's the request, godmother? The princess asks.
Tell him that you want a dress which has the color of the sky. He will never find such a dress.
I accept to marry you, but you must give me a dress with the color of the sky. The princess tells the king. He immediately orders the best dressmakers to make the dress. 3 days later, a wonderful dress is in the palace. It has the color of the sky.
Tell him that you want the skin of his donkey. He will never kill his donkey.
The fairy tells the princess. But the fairy godmother does not know how much the king wants to please his daughter. He brings the donkey's skin to the princess that very same day.
You must flee.
Says the fairy to the princess.
The donkey skin is a good way for you to escape. Wear it always. No one will believe that anyone so beautiful can hide in an ugly donkey skin. Here is some magic chest. Put your clothes and everything you need in it and take care of yourself.
The princess embraces her godmother 1,000 times. Then she wraps herself in the skin. She goes out of the palace, and no one knows her. When the king knows that the princess is not in the palace, he sends hundreds of soldiers to find her. They look everywhere for her, but they don't find her. As they are looking, the princess goes far away. She asks everyone she meets for work, but she looks so ugly in the pink skin, and no one offers her a job. Finally, she comes to a large farm. They need a girl to work in the kitchen and take care of the pigs in the farm. She accepts the job because she's tired of walking from place to place. She does her work in the corner of a room. All the other kitchen workers laugh at her. They call her Donkey Skin. On Sunday afternoons, she can rest. After completing her morning work, she goes to her room. She closes the door and washes. Then she opens the magic chest. She takes out her things and makes herself beautiful once more. Finally, she tries on her beautiful dresses, especially the sky dress. She is happy to see herself young and beautiful again. This good feeling gives her strength from one Sunday to the next. One Sunday afternoon, a prince stops at the farm to rest. He comes to the part of the farm where Donkey Skin has her small room. He hears singing and he puts his eye to the keyhole. Today is a special holiday for Donkey Skin. She washes and wears a beautiful dress. The prince cannot believe how beautiful she is. On his return to his father's palace, the prince cannot stop thinking about the girl that he sees in the farm. He goes back to the farm to see who she is, but they tell him, "Her name is Donkey Skin. She is an ugly poor woman." He cannot believe them. He cannot forget her beauty and her lovely voice. The prince now is very sad. Later on, he becomes very ill. He doesn't eat anything.
What did you ugly do, my sir?
His mother, the queen, asks him. There is a girl in a farm. She works in the kitchen and takes care of the pigs. I want her to make a cake for me. The prince replies.
But he can't warn that.
The people from the farm tell the queen.
This Donkey Skin is nothing but an ugly country woman.
It makes no difference.
Says the queen.
We must do as the prince asks. It may be the only way to save him.
So Donkey Skin takes all she needs from the kitchen. She stays alone in her room to make the cake. First, she washes her face and hands. Then she puts on a clean dress from her chest and a golden ring. When she is making the cake, the golden ring falls from her finger into the bowl. The prince finds the cake so delicious. He almost eats the ring in his great hunger. When he finds the ring, he becomes very happy. He secretly puts it under his pillow. At night, the prince says to his parents, I will marry the girl whom this ring fits. This surprises the king and the queen very much, but the prince is very sick, so they both agree. Everyone hears the news in the morning. The day comes for women to try the ring. They start with the daughters of the men who live and work in the palace. However, their fingers are all too big for the ring. Then the daughters of all the rich and important people in the land come to try the ring. Again the ring is too small for their fingers. Then the working girls come to try the ring. But the ring does not fit any of them. Finally, they turn to the kitchen maids and women who work outside with their red and dirty hand. Again, no one can put on the ring. The only woman left is Donkey Skin, they tell to king. But she cannot become a princess. And why not? Says the prince. Ask her to come here. At last Donkey Skin presents her white hand to the king. The ring goes onto her finger easily. The prince becomes fine and very happy. Everyone is surprised by her beauty, including the king himself. The king and the queen immediately start to make plans for the marriage. They invite other kings and queens to the wedding from all over the world. But one king stands out above all the others. He is the richest and the most powerful. He is the Donkey Skin's father. He knows her at once and he says, "I'm so sorry, my dear daughter." He cries with happiness and he takes her in his arms. Everyone is happy at the news, and the prince is delighted to find that the Donkey Skin's father is such a powerful king. The princess and the prince live long happily together.